Hello again, and we're back in Psalm 73. We finished up verse 2, and now we're moving on to verse 3, but it continues the thought, so we should read verse 2 and then continue on to verse 3. But as for me, actually, there's only one verse before that, so let's just go to verse 1. Truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Let's see. So I'm going to drop the Holman Christian Standard because, oh wait, here we go. Click the X there, and because the Christian Standard Bible is like the updated version of that, so we'll just use the Christian Standard Bible. Still got the New Century Version. Good News Translation will be a new added one. Lexham English Bible is the Logos kind of translation. Net Bible, and then, oh, that's a resource I didn't mean to have open. So, but that is interesting nonetheless. We'll look at that in a little bit. All right, so, for I envied the arrogant, I saw the prosperity of the wicked. So, what we're looking at here is a continuation of the thought, because it starts off with a because, the key here. Kaf here, Yod. And very drop down literal translation is because I was jealous at the arrogant one, peace of the wicked when I saw. So to clean that up, because I was envious of the arrogant one when I saw the peace of the wicked. We're going to look at this resource real quick. Again, it's the Dictionary of Biblical Languages, the Semantic Domains for the Hebrew Old Testament, or the Hebrew Bible. And this word for is translated jealous or envious. Here's how it's used. So to be jealous, to be envious, have a feeling of ill will ranging even to anger based on a perceived advantage or a desire for exclusivity in a relationship. It gets used a lot. It gives a bunch of examples. It can be describing jealousy. Jealousy and envy are very closely linked, but another way it gets used, so notice this is a stem, a PL stem. So same word in the same stem can also be translated zealous, to be zealous. That's to have a strong desire, deep devotion for an object. So it's very close. There's just a nuance of a difference between someone being jealous and someone being zealous. It's really interesting, especially in was it Numbers 25 when they have Phinehas, when the children of Israel on the plains of Moab, and they're doing stuff with the women, and God's not happy. There's a plague, and Phinehas steps up and kills a couple in the act, and rams a spear through both of them. God says something interesting. It says, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, has turned back my wrath from the people of Israel, in that he was jealous with my jealousy among them, so that I did not consume the people of Israel in my jealousy. So this whole jealousy thing, it could be translated jealous or zealous. Sorry. And so Phinehas was zealous for the Lord because he had the same kind of jealousy that the Lord had for his people. And the jealousy there is using a marriage metaphor to describe the kind of feeling that God has towards his people when they cheat on him. So God is jealous for his covenant people, and Phinehas was zealous, had a deep devotion for God, and that's what drove him to do what he did. So, just interesting little nuance there between zealous and jealous. Now, in this case, in Psalm 73, jealous here, jealous is the right nuance that we're looking for. So, we're looking at because I was envious or jealous of the arrogant one, and that's the proud or the foolish person, when I saw the peace of the wicked. So I decided to look up what that word peace is, and it's shalom. Pretty common Hebrew word, and if you've been in church for a while, you've probably heard that term before, shalom. This term has many implications, and I think almost all of them are meant in this passage. So, peace, what does it mean? Well, it depends on what context it's used in. So remember, words do not have specific meanings outside of a context. They might have an idea wrapped around, or a word might point to an idea, and it might get translated in a lot of different ways, but the way it gets translated in a specific example is based on the context. So shalom gets used, and remember, when you look at a lexicon or a dictionary, it doesn't give you a definition, it just tells you how the word gets used in given contexts. And it should explain which contexts those are. So here are a lot of different translations of shalom, and they depend on context. So peace or prosperity, an intact state of favorable circumstances. Completeness, and we're looking over here. Completeness, the state of totality of a collection. Safeness or salvation, state of being free from danger. Got health, right? A state of a lack of disease or wholeness or well-being. We've got satisfaction, contentment, state of one's basic needs or more being met. Sometimes it gets translated as friend or companion, association with another with affection or regard, or a lot of times as blessing, right? The content of the action of giving kindness. So, Asaph here, he says he's envious of the arrogant when he saw, notice the ESV translates it prosperity of the wicked. King James has prosperity of the wicked. Let's see, yep, prosperity of the wicked for the Christian Standard Bible. NASB, again, prosperity. Got the, let's see, because I was jealous of the proud people, I saw wicked people doing well, right? Wicked people doing well? That can't be right. That's not how the world is supposed to work, right? Bad things are supposed to happen to bad people. And everyone kind of has that assumption rolling around in their head. If you do bad, bad should come to you. And in fact, that's the teaching of the Proverbs. If you do bad things will happen to you. If you do the right things, good things will happen to you. And that's what makes this psalm and the book of Ecclesiastes very interesting. Because we do see wicked people doing well. What's up with that? What's going on there? Good News Translation, because I was jealous of the proud when I saw that things go well for the wicked. Right? That's that shalom that goes well. Like some English, because I envied the boastful, that's proud or, arrogant, when I saw the well-being, I decided to go with well-being of the wicked. It's a bit more broad, right? Kind of see that? Instead of saying prosperity, if you say prosperity, you kind of think of material wealth. But if you say well-being, it kind of broadens that out. makes it, yeah, or peace or prosperity, right? Because that's what, right here, peace, prosperity. And this is from that resource that I like, DBL Hebrew. Net Bible. For I envied those who are proud, as I observed the prosperity. And prosperity is a pretty common, or peace, shalom, of the wicked. All right, so here we have the prosperity of the wicked. That's what Asaph saw, and he was envious. Because those two things shouldn't go together, right? But what does that prosperity look like? What is that prosperity? Well, he's about to tell us. So let's look at verse 4. And let's see. Oh, oops, wrong one. Let me go to this. There we go. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Okay, the last half of that in King James kind of makes sense. But their strength is firm. But this first part is kind of, we don't really talk like this anymore, so it's a little strange. For there are no bands in their death. Just right off the bat, it's kind of hard to understand what that means. So let's look at it. For they have no pangs until death. Their bodies are fat and sleek. Interesting. They have an easy time. Oh wait, that's verse 4. Oh yeah, we're on verse 4, sorry. They have an easy time until they die, and their bodies are well fed. Interesting. For there are no pains in their death, and their body is fat. Okay. They are not suffering. They are healthy and strong. Pretty good, okay. They do not suffer pain. They are strong and healthy. All right. For there are no pains up to their death, and their bodies are healthy. So we have pains, and we have bodies that are healthy. You see that. For they suffer no pain. Their bodies are strong and well fed. So here's the so again, we start with key because he's continuing that thought. Because why? What's their peace look like? Their shalom looks like because not, so because in the negative particle or negation, because not torment to their death, and fat or healthy, well fed, of fat of belly they are. So to kind of rearrange a couple of things, make it make sense. Because they have no agonies of illness until death, their bellies are well fed. Okay, or because they suffer no agonizing illness in this life, they are healthy and strong. So notice on the second one, I put in this life. That's a bit of an interpretation there. I added a few words, but it gets the idea there because they don't have torment and it's to their death. So the idea there is that it's for their whole life all the way to their death. There's no torment, there's no suffering, there's no pain. But the word that gets translated, this bands, right? This word for bands, it is this word here. It's harotzab. Anyways, it means illness or sickness, with a focus on the torments and agonies and pangs that accompany an illness. So that's what it's talking about. That's where this in the King James, the bands of, there are no bands. There are no things that torment them. all the way to their death. And then the other word that I looked up was this word for fat, fat of belly, and it's this word here, and it means healthy, like physically healthy. When it's referring to animals, stall-fed, grain-fed animals instead of an animal that grazes, so it's fattened up, like a fattened calf. Or you have obese, overweight, is the idea. So fat. Also has the idea of healthy, kind of like a well-fed animal. But this verse is comparing a body with illness and a body that is healthy and strong. So how does it go for the wicked? Well, it goes well for them. They don't have agonies of illness all the way to their death, meaning their whole life. They don't have to deal with suffering, right? They have none of those agonies of illness until death. And their bellies are well fed, or they're healthy and strong. That's where we got like this one. For this is the Lexham English Bible. For there are no pains up to their death, and their bodies are healthy, right? Healthy, strong, literally fat. But since the parallelism is about an ill body compared to a healthy body, I think healthy is a good translation because it gets the comparison there. Just a couple of verses, just a couple of things to think about. Why the wicked? Why would we be envious of the wicked? Well, it's because it seems like they have a lot going for them. And when it comes to health, it seems like they're always healthy. Nothing bad happens to them physically when it comes to their bodies. At least that's what it looks like from Asaf's point of view in verse 4. In verse 3, that prosperity, that's what's really getting under his skin. It's the prosperity of the wicked. When he saw that, he was envious. He wanted what they had. But I will keep it kind of short and just do a little bit here, a little bit there, and make our way through this psalm. Hope it was something to think about. Thank you for your time.